Hi. So I wanted to talk about something that I made today. Um, I learned to knit when I was young. My grandmother actually taught me how to knit, and my grandmother is definitely a personality and a force to be reckoned with. Um, Recently, well, a few years ago now, my grandfather died, and when he died, she went into a nursing home and they had to downsize a lot of her stuff because she was a pack rat and she kept everything. And so I got a lot of stuff from the house, and I got a lot of her yarn and her knitting needles and her stuff that she used to sew. And I've got a couple partial vests and stuff that were almost finished that she didn't finish, and I'm not really sure what to do with those because I don't have the patterns, so I can't finish them, I don't think. Um, but I kept them, and I still have them, and I plan on doing something with them eventually. Learning to knit from my grandmother was a bit traumatic for me when I was a kid, and I didn't. I'm not a great knitter. I'm never gonna knit giant sweaters and cables and stuff, but it's relaxing and I really enjoy it. And I was cleaning my junk room up today, and I found these little tiny balls of yarn that my grandmother kept because um, she grew up during the Depression and she kept everything. She actually had, I think, probably OCD or something. She just had a lot of issues about keeping things and having. She would buy new shoes, but she wouldn't wear them. She wore her shoes that had holes in them uh, until basically, I guess, they wouldn't stay on her feet anymore, and then she used the new ones. But um, she had 20 pairs of shoes that she'd never worn. She kept buying new ones, but she never wore them. I think the Depression had a really major effect on her. So she hoarded things, and she definitely kept things. And so I have all these little, tiny, tiny little balls of yarn, just really small ones. And they're not really useful for anything major. You can't, well, I guess you could put them all together to make one big thing or something, but it's not even enough really to do that. So she had made all these little dishcloths out of leftover bits of yarn, and they're all very even and symmetrical. And I don't know, when I found it today, I decided I was going to make a dishcloth because I've been using Grandma's knitted dishcloths for the last I don't know, maybe for 2 or 3 years now. I've been using these old dishcloths that she had, and they're falling apart now, and they're really old and kind of gross and scuzzy and stuff. And I found this yarn, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make dishcloths. I can do this. This is square. I can handle that. Apparently, I can't. Anyway, this is what I made. It's not square, although it's mostly square. I mean, this part is good. And it's kind of ironic because this is the casting off part, and this is the casting on part. Casting on, casting off. For some reason, it was easier to cast off than it was to cast on. But the process of this reminded me of learning how to knit with Grandma, and how hard that was. She's definitely a perfectionist in everything that she did. And I'm not capable apparently of I'm not capable apparently of just following through on something. But I think doing this, I learned something. I learned that I have to start on something and follow it through. Because what I did here was I started here, and I was casting on one every 2 rows on both sides. And then when I got to here, I decided this isn't big enough. I'm going to have to cast on 2 every row. so then it sort of just bulges out there. And then when I'm casting off, I did it properly and did just casting off the whole way down. So I learned that about myself, that I need to stick with the plan, even if the plan isn't working. I would have ended up with something that looked right but was small if I'd kept going the way I was going. So I know now how to start the next one, and I've already started the next one that took me 20 minutes to do this. It's not pretty quick and messy. Although Grandma's dishcloths have crocheted bits around the edges to make them all sort of frilly around the edge, and I don't know how to crochet, so that's not something that I'm going to do. But I don't know, I just wanted to share a little bit. I think this isn't, well, that's part of the thing too. Sometimes, even though I'm using Quick Capture, I will go back and clear this and do a new one, and clear it and do a new one, and clear it and do a new one. And I really need to just let it go. Stick with the plan even when it's not working. Follow it through to the end. Learn from your mistakes. Start over. Do it right the second time. So I'm hoping that the second time it's going to come out a little bit better on this little project that I set for myself, and try and use up all the little balls of yarn. And Erin, if you want one of these, probably don't want this one, but if you want one, I'll make you one. Erin's coming to visit soon. I'm very excited. I don't know if this is particularly worthy of commenting on or rating or whatever, but I would really appreciate some feedback from the YouTube world on this stuff. And I don't know. I think that's all I've got about knitting for today. But I'm going to go knit. Maybe I'll watch some more videos, and then I'm going to go to bed. And try to go to sleep early tonight. Alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.